guys, this is John for Cartridge Blast Gamers here with another Cartridge Blast podcast. Today is June 11th. No, it's July 11th.
Whoa.
You better start
It's like
over.
a month back. No, it's fine. Keep going. Just go with the flow. July 11th.
July 11th.
Amazon Prime Day.
It makes more sense that way since we were talking about July 4th last week. How about
Crap. I need to get
things?
to 7-Eleven for my free Slurpee.
That was today.
That's today,
yeah.
Oh.
I wonder if there's a cutoff.
Well, I hope you guys got it.
Podcast is canceled. See you guys next week.
Well, guys, this is episode 19, and I hope you guys did get your free Slurpee
And Prime Day deals.
Prime Day deals. That is Prime Day today.
It is.
I got my wife to buy me some tools.
Yay.
Well, there you go.
Tools.
Tools.
On a
Tools.
gaming podcast. Boo.
That's
Whoa, hold on. I'm building a D&D table.
Oh.
A Dungeons and Dragons table.
Yes, I am. Or RPG, whatever you want to do. Warhammer can happen there, or we'll do some board games and stuff. So
That's
I've
We could also arm wrestle
never
on it.
ever done like the Dungeons and Dragons, like the tabletop stuff.
I don't think I have the patience for it.
I don't know if
Dude.
I do either.
you guys don't know what you're missing.
I really
get
want
into like
to.
trouble. I'm a big trouble guy.
Trouble. Hit
Yep.
the thing with that. Boop.
Something inside me feels better when I pop it.
When you pop it
yeah,
and
hit
it's
the
like,
dice
yeah,
roll.
and then you knock people out of the way.
Yeah, it's like a fidget spinner, I guess.
no,
but
if
in a
you're
board game.
serious about playing, though, you should,
Well, you see, I always remember back in the day when
Screw this game.
when they had a Dexter's Laboratory episode where they're playing Dungeons and Dragons. I thought that was so cool. And I remember making my own board game as a kid, and I guess it was kind of the same thing. Like, it had different ways you can go, and I made up cards with characters on it.
John, you were there. You were there. All you needed was the guidebook. Like, I don't even know what version was that when we were kids, but yeah.
I don't even know.
You would love it.
I didn't know anybody
You would
that
love
played
it.
it.
I remember they did that terrible Dungeons and Dragons movie. That was fantastic.
They
Remember
did
that?
make a movie.
Yeah,
I never
remember
saw
that.
it though because I
Bad.
never played the game.
It's all bad. I
But
don't
it's
even
kinda like-
understand
Is it
how
like so
works.
bad it's kind of good? Like
No.
a room?
I mean, it did not leave an impression on me for to remember even what it was about.
It's kind of like when they tried to make Double Dragon a movie.
Oh, fail.
Live action?
I always forget that was a thing until you remind me that it was a thing.
It's a thing.
I remember. No, I watched it multiple times. I'm just saying. I keep forgetting that was like an attempt.
Yeah, it was bad. But I do wish I played Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know if I'd get into it now because, there's always that thing where you set up board games and you try to get friends to come over and play it, but it takes 2 hours to set up, and by the time you set up, no one wants to play. It's like Mousetrap.
Yeah.
You didn't want to set up the whole thing to play. You just wanted to set it up to throw the marble down and have all the traps go.
Mousetrap was the biggest scam of a board game.
You just wanted instant gratification. Sure, I'll build the traps, but I want to just set it off. I don't want to play no board game.
It was
to set
like
it
an
off.
in disguised Lego set.
Yeah.
But in the form of a board game that nobody
was
ever
fun,
played.
I'm sorry.
I must have played it twice.
It was a total digression from what you were actually going to talk about.
No, we're talking about this now.
Talking about tabletop games now.
What was I going to talk about? Chris, let's dive further into your Dungeons and Dragons, though.
Can I be like really like a pop star goblin? Can I be like something?
A pop
You
star
could be whatever
goblin?
I don't want to
want.
be. I don't want to be like an orc or an elf. I want to be a goblin that's a pop star.
Can you make that happen?
A dungeon
Is your
master
special
can make that
ability to
happen.
sing?
Yeah.
So,
No,
Chris,
that's dumb.
Why are you a pop star then? What kind of purpose does it serve for you to be a pop star?
Well, actually,
I don't need you. I don't need you to ask these
All right,
questions.
fine.
the real person actually would be appropriate to ask is actually Rob.
He plays.
Yeah.
well, here's
Call him up on the phone right now.
he
Put him
de-
on speaker.
He
Guest speaker.
He DMs. Yeah, he DMs for our game. that
Direct
we
message.
play.
I was gonna say
He's a dungeon master.
Dungeon master.
Oh yeah, I know that.
And it's really cool because what he'll do is he'll make up all like custom maps and stuff, and he has like our party right now on this island, and it has all kinds of riddles and stuff that we have to figure out. It's really
now
cool.
does he make up riddles?
Yeah.
Like what? So the Dungeon Master makes up a game, and you guys have to follow that.
Yeah, it's his universe.
Seems like a lot of hard work. I
Hey.
don't want to be the dungeon master.
Well-
I don't want to be that.
Some people who play Dungeons and Dragons would rather or prefer to be players rather than DM the game. Some kind of play for a couple of years and then like they get into it so far then they want to play. Like they want to actually run a game.
And then next you get into live action role playing.
LARPing.
LARPing.
No, actually that may be true for some people. I personally don't LARP. I don't know. I just can't. I don't find it.
We're gonna LARP. That's coming this summer.
I'd rather
LARPing. Cartridge Blast LARPing.
You should talk about that live action, freaking medieval, like, full contact sport that's out there.
Oh, it's on YouTube. You guys
LARPing.
can check it out.
Full contact for LARPing. Full contact LARPing.
They set themselves up in real medieval armor. It's full contact. You get two teams,
I feel like I've seen a video about this.
and
somewhere.
they run at each other. And the whole objective is to throw the guy to the ground. But they use whatever means possible. So, guy's got a battle axe and he's wailing on the back of some guy's head with it.
So now this isn't just like play dress up. This is like people are dressed in full real life armor.
Yeah,
And with real life weapons.
yeah, blunt. I mean, like not sharp and like there are rules and stuff. You're not gonna cut through.
Hurt.
That's
But
only
not.
when you get really advanced. You have to go to the sharp weapons.
It's
And then-
medieval MMA.
Yeah, pretty much.
And
In a
then you
way.
slowly move up to the modern age where people have bazookas.
No, that's paintball.
When you're
Just play
professional,
paintball.
you have like nuclear weapons,
That's when you go
nuclear
pro.
vessels.
like biological missiles.
Biological missile. Have some
How's
chicken
that
box.
Do you shoot somebody with it and somebody gets impregnated? Like, I don't understand. How does that work?
It's just,
It's in your imagination. It's
Oh,
it's your
damn, I
it's
got
your-
pregnant.
you're still on D&D.
What? Are we still on that?
I thought you were probably thinking.
No, this is
Jonah,
legit. We're actually killing each other.
What happens if real life was we're just all Dungeons and Dragons players?
You're getting really deep right now. I don't
John,
appreciate it.
And there's a dungeon dragon master out there somewhere.
John, I believe that.
Where's all this awesome stuff that would happen in the game? Then?
Well, clearly,
Going to work. That's the dungeon.
our dungeon master is an asshole, and he makes us go to work. Nothing fun.
Getting very
And all the
philosophical.
movies that come out are what other people are living.
That's great.
Yes.
The only people that have broken free of this dungeon master are the LARPers.
Or Morpheus.
Morpheus.
And to us, we think it's just weird, but it's in real life. They're the ones.
They're
that
the
are free.
heroes.
They're here.
I have
Heroes.
no idea what the hell we're talking about.
LARPing is great.
John's going to introduce everybody because we're like 10 minutes in. Hasn't introduced anybody yet.
Wait! I don't talk to strangers.
I'm John.
I'm John. You're Jonah. Everyone, take it away from there.
That's you, buddy.
Chris Carmine.
Chris Carmine. All right.
I'm
Well,
Carmine.
you guys don't have anyone to introduce, so
That's fine.
guess you're gonna leave.
We're all
now.
here. They should know who we are by now.
But guys, you know what? I think for the first time in a very long time, we actually got to see the same movie this weekend,
We did.
Yeah,
and it was
Terrible. Just
amazing.
the worst.
Baby Driver.
Baby Driver was
I-
amazing.
No,
I love
we didn't
Baby
see
Driver.
I hear really good things about it, but
Yeah.
no, I want to see it. But
It was actually Spider-Man.
yeah, it was.
There's
Spider-Man Homecoming.
clowns over here,
What
but
clowns?
so.
Don't call Spider-Man a clown.
So guys, all right, without giving any spoilers, because
Sounds like mess.
people probably just turned off, like, I don't want to hear about it, I didn't see it yet, but
no spoilers.
there's no spoilers, so, but guys, what do you think? Did you guys like it?
When Zool showed up, I was a bit thrown off. But, I feel it's
Zool,
good.
like from Ghostbusters.
Oh,
Jonah, I'm going to buy you
no spoilers.
spoilers.
oh.
That'd be a nice crossover.
Yeah.
Spider-Man and
I-
Ghostbusters. Movie.
I think it's the best live-action Spider-Man to date. To be honest with you.
I mean, I liked it a lot. It was one of my more liked Marvel movies that have come out recently. But I don't know. I still like Tobey Maguire a little better.
Your favorite movie, Spider-Man 3, isn't it?
You love
we
Spider-Man
joked about
3.
that, but no.
I just said it to him.
It might just be nostalgia, just because I saw it when I was a kid.
Like,
And
when
a lot.
It's interesting to think about that too. Like this, the original Spider-Man movies. Like that was really like the first big like Marvel trilogy.
it was the
first
it
time
was
we
the
really saw
first, like,
something.
live-action hero movie.
Yeah. Aside
Um,
from what X-Men, I guess X-Men would have been out already.
No,
Right?
I think they did Hulk in like the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Well, they did the well, no,
That's
they,
not true.
they
There's
did
an
the Ang Lee one.
There's
where he
actually
was just
a
a
Captain
digital-
when he just
America
got
movie
bigger
that was
and
in the
bigger, the more
80s.
angry
Yeah,
he was.
there were some really weird, like Captain America movie in the
Yeah,
80s.
yeah.
There was a
In the
couple weird
80s,
ones.
they had the Hulk show from the 80s,
First-
which was actually really good.
First good one.
Yeah, I mean, this is because I remember like being excited for the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, because if you guys remember, they had the whole teaser trailer for first Spider-Man, and it was the Twin Towers, and
Yeah.
they had to actually take that away for a period of time because of what happened with 9/11. But I remember being really super excited about that, and I enjoyed the first one, but it didn't like set the world on fire for me. The second one, and I think me and John agree, like this is like probably the best core Spider-Man movie that there was.
I remember seeing the first one and I was like, eh.
Yeah.
I was like, eh. Yeah. But then the second one came out and I was blown away. Like I really thought that was the best comic book superhero movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean,
I still think about that trade scene. Just like it pops in my head every now and then.
With the spider web and the helicopter in it, right?
No, that was the trailer. He's talking about the scene with the train.
Oh, I'm sorry. The train.
The train.
I thought you said the trailer.
With Dr. Octopus.
Nah.
But yeah, the train scene was cool. I mean, that whole movie was great. It had it, like
Doc Ock was a good.
It had a beginning, middle, and end. Like there wasn't much of a cliffhanger in it. Like you know what I mean?
I feel like Homecoming was good. It had beginning, middle, and an end. And I think it was a better movie than what Sony could have done alone.
Probably.
I feel like with the Marvel studio involved, basically made it a better thing. And to be fair, I thought that this movie was more like what I remember as a kid watching the cartoons, having the snarky.
See, I don't remember
Spider-Man.
any of that. Like I don't see that comparison with like the animated series. Like it's just. Like, even, like, I don't know what it is, but, like, the animated series probably ruined Spider-Man for me because, like, that was, like, what I saw when I was younger. Like, I feel like that will always be Spider-Man to me. Like, that kind of version of Spider-Man will always be Spider-Man.
You don't think the snarkiness of
Peter
really, Parker...
I don't know. I don't really think it's snarkiness as much as it is, like, I mean, they're, like, little quip comments and stuff like that, but it's not...
Did you notice any of the T-shirts he was wearing during the movie?
Yeah.
Like, all the little inside jokes and stuff.
What kind of inside jokes?
Like on his shirts and stuff, like physics jokes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, like the whole thing. He was just like it was supposed to be like
he's a smart
funny.
ass.
Yeah, he's like,
and that's why I thought when I first saw the Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield, I kind of liked how they brought more of that into that.
That's
character.
I feel the same.
Where he's like, oh my god, my only weakness, or it's a knife or something like that.
A lot of people give Andrew Garfield Spider-Man a lot of crap, and I'm not going to say that those movies weren't flawed in themselves, but there are certain points where I'm like, that's Spider-Man. Like, did you see Amazing Spider-Man 2?
I didn't because I heard it was bad, and I didn't want this. I didn't want
it. Terrible.
They did the same thing as the third one, and I just didn't want it because coming off of the Tobey Maguire cycle, and I was so happy. I think I saw the third one like midnight showing or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was so pumped for him. By the end of the movie, I had no idea what I just watched.
To the first one, the Amazing Spider-Man one.
No, the third movie.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about going back.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw it again with Chris as a second time because I had to. Like, it didn't make sense. Like, I was like, no, it wasn't bad, was it? No, that wasn't like that. It was just because I was tired when I saw it. I was like, I didn't get the full grasp of it. Maybe I was the one crying. Maybe Toby wasn't crying.
Yeah.
So then I go and see it, and I'm like, what did they do? What have they done?
Yeah.
Just bad.
And so when The Amazing Spider-Man came out, I liked that as a step forward, but I feel like it was just like a continuation of what Sony wanted to do. Because if you remember, the fourth one was actually in the making, in the works, like you said, but like it was like at the very last minute,
Toby pulled out.
Toby and Sam Raimi pulled out, and so then this was like the backup film for it. So like I feel like it's still tied to it. So that's why when I heard the second one was like all like this, they just pulled the same crap. I'm like, I'm not even gonna bother with it.
Yeah. With Amazing Spider-Man though, like you were talking about. I do urge you to just watch the second one, even though a lot of people think it's terrible. I don't think it's as bad as what a lot of people thought it was. I think the biggest problem with what's the actor's name? Help me.
Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield. It's the accent going in and out. I think like there's some parts where like he tries a little bit too hard to like pull off a New York accent. That kind of pulls me out of that movie. But with the way that he is as Spider-Man, I thought was spot on. Mm-hmm. Like there's certain moments in that movie where he's fighting Electro and he pulls out a hose or whatever, and he's there with the fire department with like a fireman's cap on, like blasting with a hose. Like there's little things about that movie that I'm like, that is more Spider-Man to me. Mm-hmm. As a character of Spider-Man. And again, this is an older Spider-Man, Homecoming is a very young story of Spider-Man. But yeah, like I said, I want you to watch it, and then I want to get your intake on the second Amazing Spider-Man. So I don't want to talk anymore about it now. But Homecoming was good, but like I talked about with Homecoming, like because Marvel Cinematic Universe as it is, like we're all kind of just on the bench waiting for Infinity War to come out, and you know, you have even Thor Ragnarok is supposed to have like a big full cast because you're gonna have supposedly Hulk and Doctor Strange and stuff like that in it. So going back to this and having Iron Man and Robert Downey Jr. in it as Tony Stark, there's a lot of times where I'm just like, all right, when's Tony Stark coming? When's Iron Man coming back? Like I really thought too. Based on trailers and stuff like that, like he was going to be a bigger part at the end of the movie with like the final battle and stuff like that to help out. But I do enjoy that it was just Spider-Man pretty much saving the day, coming across, you know, getting over whatever fears he had, and you know, becoming a full-fledged hero. I guess. Well,
like you said, it's you know, a lot of people are like, oh, why are you talking about Spider-Man 2? It's like this one was so much better, but it's like. Because of the fact that you have the whole Marvel universe kind of like
it's almost like a cloud like hanging over every Marvel movie,
it's not a sole Spider-Man movie. It's just like another.
And nothing's really sole anything anymore,
especially in that universe.
Even Doctor Strange was probably the last one that actually was its own story.
And I really like Doctor Strange,
it was good.
Because it was the one that kind of sat on its own, and did its own thing.
And I'm kind of curious to see what they're going to do with Black Panther. I wonder if they're going to stick to the Doctor Strange model, or are they going to have, like, because last time we saw in Civil War where Cap and Bucky and everybody they were in Wakanda with Black Panther, so are they not going to be there? Is this going to be another big tie-in with multiple heroes, or is it going to be a standalone story with... or similar to Doctor Strange.
Yeah. And the big question of all this is, how is Infinity War going to be good with all these characters? Like, how are they going to give time to each of your favorite character?
Well, they're not.
There's two movies, right?
Yeah, there's going to be two movies. So supposedly two separate storylines, technically. The idea of it is, from what I've been reading up on, is that it's actually going to be from the perspective of Thanos the entire time. Like, he's going to be the main story of the Infinity War.
That could be interesting.
Which makes me...
That makes sense. That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how I feel about it, but I think that's an interesting point of view to take.
But at the same time, you're going to pay Robert Downey Jr. $40 million to be in this Marvel movie. You're going to have to get him in there a lot, because he's the biggest bankroll right now for all the Marvel movies. Like, he's the one that's being paid the most.
They might kill him off during those movies.
I don't think they will. I have this big theory, and we're getting off Spider-Man. We're going to a larger conversation.
Like, completely way...
but I'm going to call it right now. I'm going to predict it that he gets a fourth Iron Man movie. Disney's pretty hot right now with, or happy with Jon Favreau with what he did with Jungle Book and some other movies that he's been working on. He directed the first two Iron Man movies. I think that Jon Favreau will come back, direct a fourth Iron Man movie. Tony Stark will be kind of like his farewell movie to the Iron Man.
Pass the torch.
Yeah, and he'll pass the torch over to the female Iron Man that's currently going on in the comic books.
Right.
But you'll see, and I think it could do very well if it's a movie leading up to the wedding between, like if I'm sorry, if they decide,
spoilers.
Yeah, I know. But if they pretty much end it and pass the torch in the fourth movie, I think that he could say goodbye then.
Yeah.
I think if they wanted to, they could bring him back here and there, but I think he could kind of pass it off and freaking finish the Sherlock Holmes trilogy that I want them to finish.
That'd be great.
Because I want a third Sherlock Holmes probably more so than I want another Iron Man movie.
So, getting back to gaming.
Well, Spider-Man.
Well, that's what I'm going to say.
Spider-Man, Homecoming, great. Enjoyed it. Probably not my favorite. You're saying it's your favorite, right?
It is my favorite.
Spider-Man so far.
There's nothing more fundamental to Marvel than Spider-Man to me.
I agree.
I feel like Spider-Man is Marvel.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed the hell out of it.
I enjoyed it.
It was a great film, but
it had me laughing the whole time. I was having a great time.
I think I went into it way too hyped, and I want to watch it again and just appreciate it a little bit more.
I avoided as many trailers as I could because I remember
I saw a lot.
I saw all the trailers.
I couldn't avoid them.
Yeah, I had the whole storyline in my head before I watched it.
And I didn't, and I enjoyed every moment of that movie.
Yeah.
It really captivated me, and I had to say, the people who were around me were laughing with me too. So I know they enjoyed it.
There was a kid in the corner talking to his dad.
Like all the Iron Man, like all the Tony Stark Iron Man scenes, you pretty much saw through the trailers, and you could kind of guess where he was going to come in. So it's
See, that's why I don't watch trailers. That's my PSA. Don't watch trailers.
This movie coming out, just remove your eyes and put them back in when it's ready.
Especially this movie, I remember. I think the second trailer, because the teaser was good, and then the second trailer, I couldn't avoid it for some reason. Whatever it was in front of a movie or something, and like they showed so much, and I was like, that was so stupid of them. Like, what? Honestly, all they have to show is a tease for these movies, and people are gonna go see them. You know what I mean? But
You're
kind of
video games.
like talking about the different versions of Spider-Man. How do you think the PS4 version of that Spider-Man is going to fit into everything
it's
that's
going to be a
happening?
separate story. It's not going to be tied to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they're saying. I still have this kind of in the back of my head, like this Peter Parker that's in the video game could be like years from what Tom Holland's Spider-Man is.
Like, yeah,
and they could separate it, and
because at the end of the PS4 trailer.
Okay.
At the end of the PS4 trailer,
I almost screwed up something, and I thought you were going to screw up something too.
At the end of the PS4 trailer, he's swinging around, everyone's taking pictures because he's already established as like the
Yeah,
city
exactly.
hero.
So I think that they could say that. I think they have said it is Peter Parker in the suit in
Yeah,
the video game.
yeah, because after Peter Parker's is like Miles Morales, which shows up in the video in the trailer.
Video, trailer as well.
Yeah,
Which will be interesting to see.
Yeah.
The animated Spider-Man movie is going. Sony is making an animated Spider-Man movie, and that is going to star Miles Morales.
They're making an animated movie?
Supposedly. Originally, it was supposed to be based off of. They were supposed to tie up the Amazing Spider-Man story with a third movie, but it was going to be animated.
That sounds like a good idea. But
Yeah. But now they're so far into this one, I don't see why they would. The other great news that I saw with the Spider-Man game, and we can kind of finish off on this, is that they did say, they talked to Insomniac Games, and they said that it is open world, and it is several times larger than what Sunset Overdrive was on Xbox One.
I didn't play Sunset Overdrive.
It's
Is it really
pretty
large?
decent size. It's a decent size. I don't think any game needs to be Skyrim every time that we get it, even though Chris over here would probably love it.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is too, though, is that you have to Spider-Man travels a lot faster, so it's like a big open world may not seem as big because of the transversal between everything, but
as long as it's not all just timed events, like every little thing that you do, as long as there's like room to do your own button stuff.
I have a scary suspicion that they probably looked at like the best Spider-Man games or the best aspects of the Spider-Man game and kind of put it into this game.
Yeah.
Like probably looking at like what they did with Spider-Man 2 and saw what worked now, and that's probably what they're basing it off of.
See, I remember it's been such a long time since I played the PS2 one, but we're just talking about the PS1 one, the first Spider-Man game.
Yeah.
That's such a fun game.
It is, and it's not big, it's not open, it's linear, but it's still an awesome fun game.
Yeah, it takes it right out of the animated series that you were talking about before.
Yep.
So,
just like Batman Arkham did with the animated series.
Mm-hmm. But guys, you have anything to add with Spider-Man?
No.
Spider-Man's great.
Homecoming was good. Like I said, I want to see it again. I'm not willing to stick a flag and say it's the best Spider-Man.
I give it 2 thumbs up, though.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Also,
it
I'm going to hijack.
But again, I just it's that cloud of Marvel.
Yeah.
Like there's like I'm always like, even in like other movies, I'm like, all right, when are we going to see somebody else come in? Are we going to get like a surprise guest show up? Like that's what I'm always looking for in the Marvel
guys.
movies.
But I will tell you this: if you haven't seen it, definitely stick around after the credits. You won't be disappointed.
Twice. 2. There's 2 of them.
Yeah.
Because everyone left after the first one.
It's all about patience.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's right.
Also watch Baby Driver. Take us out of here.
But guys, take us out of here.
Take us home, Johnny.
But guys, let us know if you saw the movie. Leave us comments down below. Leave spoiler-free comments if you can. If not, at least write it in big bold letters so other people don't get spoiled. Because if you've seen a trailer, I'm sure you've seen the whole movie.
Kinda.
But
It's terrible.
yeah, guys, let us know down in the comments.